Hi, would you like to develop more business for your company? Would you like to be the person who brings in the new clients? Would you like to be the person who solves your clients' needs? Okay, I'd like to talk about consultative selling methods today. Welcome to our video on consultative sales methods. Many years ago, I was given the opportunity to go into I guess it was probably a 3-day course given by Wilson Learning called Consultative Selling. Just totally changed my business life. Before that point, I thought sales was something we had to give people proposals, be a really good talker, be assertive and all those things. Yeah, there's some of that, but really a professional salesperson is more about listening and problem solving, finding the pain points that our clients have, and then solving these problems. And plus, we have to be able to build relationships with people. And that's where small talk and being competent, being able to relate to others is really important. So anyway, in consultative sales, I see that there are 4 stages to it. The first being build trust. We build trust through being likable, having commonality with the other person, finding things of common interest, being interested in them, and also showing that we're competent. Now, before the interview actually starts, there's probably been some marketing done. You have a brand, you've had clients, you've got testimonials, you've written articles, you've been in videos, you've done different things to show that you are a subject area expert. Your company has a good reputation. You are focused on client service. You've earned the opportunity to come in and talk and give advice. So it's a sales interview, but it's also mostly a consultative thing. Really, I think that consultative sales is all about giving service to people, being there to listen to, being there to understand their problems. And after we understand the problems, we work out solutions with them. So the second point is problem. What are the pain points? How do we discover them? How do we question, build confidence, and get agreement that there is a problem? So that's the second stage. Once we've discovered there is a problem, then we can move on to discussing solution. What we found that has worked well with other companies, how we delivered the service, what were the benchmarks, what could be expected, get agreement that the solutions sound like they could work for them. And then from there, we move into negotiation, making a proposal, finding the right investment for the client. I recommend that we move ahead and solve their problems. So some of the language could be, let's say we're in a sales meeting. First, we've probably had some emails back and forth. They know something about you. They've looked at your LinkedIn profile. You might mention that, oh, I see so-and-so is connected with you. We did some work with that company. I happened to have lunch with them a couple weeks ago. I also noticed that you're into golf or you're into sailing or something. And this is something I'm quite passionate about also. I'd love to talk with you sometime about that. Thanks for taking the meeting. I want to use this time to our best advantage. And before I got here, I was kind of thinking about some of the issues that you might experience since you're in this particular industry. I hope I'm correct. First of all, can I ask you, why did you decide to take this meeting with me? Perhaps they're going to say, well, we've heard about your company. We've heard that you solved a problem for XYZ company. We are experiencing a problem with, let's say, our sales or maybe optimization if you're selling an ERP system. If it's sales, maybe they need some help with their social media, their content marketing, a website, landing pages, the whole sales funnel. Let's identify the problem. And then once we've identified the problem and we can tell that we do have a trusting relationship here, that they appreciate what we're talking about, and that they see that we are truly interested in serving them. And then we can move on to the solution. We could point out that this solution has worked for companies like theirs, we would need to study their company a little more and talk to some other people perhaps within the company just to understand their market persona, who their typical customer is, how they've approached business before, something about their corporate culture, just to have a good understanding. And we certainly want whatever we do for them to blend with what their brand is all about. We work through this, we listen, we respond to what we're hearing, we use open questions, take notes. We really get to the point where we understand what they're talking about, what their problem is, and now we've gotten to the solution stage. So we can try some different ideas. Let's say it's diminished sales. So we're talking about social media. Ask them what they've done on social media. What was their experience like? What worked? What didn't work? What's the image that they're trying to present in social media? I believe that we could make a statement. I believe we can really help you with this. And I'd like to give you some examples of what we've done and then come up with a proposal to see if it meets your needs. And if it's not exact, then we can go back to the drawing board and create something that is more targeted for you. Usually, we're not really closing. Sometimes maybe they've moved ahead in that funnel and they're ready to appoint you. But most likely they might have some questions. Well, what kind of cost are we talking about? My response might be, we realize that we need to be competitive and we really must fully understand the scope of the work. We will give you a proposal and hope that the investment and the return on investment that you see will show that this makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, we'd like to know. And no matter what, we want to maintain a good relationship with your company, because even if this isn't a project that works, perhaps the next one will be, and we'd always like to be part of your marketing program. Another objective would be, can you deliver on time? And if we can answer objections before they're presented, that's very powerful too, because usually the same ones keep coming up. And the last stage is to advocate the solution. Once you've made a presentation, get agreement that we've solved the problem, we've brought a very good solution to the table. Is there any reason why we shouldn't proceed at this point? Or just simply, if this is important to you, let's get moving on it. No pressure, just we're there for them. And that's really the way we have to be thinking. Before we move in there, before we meet with them, we have to be thinking, how can we add real value? How can we give a solution that's going to give a 300, 400% return on investment, 800% return on investment? It's all performance. Hey, if we can't perform, there's no reason for us to exist. I hope you find this interesting. And consultative sales, in my mind, is basically just consulting, business development. And it's a partnership between marketing and sales. So marketing warms it up. We go in there. We have somebody that's open-minded, can trust is built. We reinforce that. The whole process never ends because it's always built on service. It's always built on support. It's always built on maintaining relationships. It's a long game. I hope this has been helpful to you. My name's Burton Langille. I built a number of businesses. I was involved in multi-million-dollar contracts. I had a lot of experience in this, and this kind of method worked very well for me. I know it will work well for you. And it's something that's very enjoyable. We're not trying to talk somebody into something. We're really, truly listening and solving problems. My company is learnbusinessenglish.ca. Again, my name is Burton Langille. Direct message me, add something to the comments, whatever. Thanks very much.